Testing, testing. One, two, three. Okay, here we go. There we send a message. Better. Live now with my day stream. Okay, and then how do I send here? There we go. That should that should be good. Hello, Patrick. Oh, hello, Devourer of Gods fans. Welcome. I honestly didn't actually expect anyone to show up from Discord, but yeah, welcome to the stream. It's not going to be anything too fancy. Mostly because I spent all of my effort in the auxiliary stuff. And then the actual main thing, which I'm going to be reading out, is just completely. It is just plain text. So that's going to be pretty interesting to look at. Oh, wonderful. Hello. Hi, Peter Cedric the second P. Morales. So yeah, so this is pretty simple. I've been streaming for a little while, but I've been using a test model so far, a test avatar, if we will. That test avatar, in fact, I can actually just pop it up right now. Hold up, just give me 1 second. Let's add an image, test, AVA. Yeah, so you see this thing right here? This Chibi Star. Yeah, this is what I've been using so far as a test avatar. It's basically the very first model I made. The first VTubing model I've made just for me to actually just learn stuff out, just figure out how things work. And I put actually way too much effort into it. So I just kept using it and I thought, you know what? I'll save my actual proper model for the debut. And the debut has unfortunately just not been able to happen. Just constantly delayed one after the other. But today we're finally able to do it. That's that's just gonna be special. That's gonna be amazing. I'm excited. What are you supposed to expect? Who knows? I don't even know what we're supposed to expect, and I prepared everything. Well, prepared might be a stretch. I made I made nice assets which could be used for basically all the streaming. But for the debut itself, the debut unique assets, not too many. How did you, Peter Win Cedric the Second P Morales? Did you just change your avatar? Okay, like on the screen, it's only going to show up with your name. But I just looked at the chat, and I can see that your picture changed. You changed that picture really fast. Also, hello, Patrick. I just switched the chat to live chat and engineer showed up. Apparently, he was censored, which is kind of unfortunate. I didn't expect that to happen. I'm, I'm I'm penis. Okay. Fair enough, Peter and Cedric. I don't know, your name is just so good. I feel like I want to say the whole thing out loud. I'm just gonna double check really quickly on the chat to make sure it's. Double check really quickly on the chat to make. Okay, there you go. Now I switched the chat from top chat to live chat, so you shouldn't be like awkwardly censored for no particular reason. And okay, first step. Let's come into here and see if I hit the right button. Yeah, I hit the right button. So hello. I've made this board and I've actually made it a bit tidier, as you've already seen the board in the Discord. But I've actually managed to make it neat and tidy. That's a first for me. Don't judge. And like most VTubers, they start with the feet, right? Like a lot of the views which I've seen, they start revealing the model with the feet first. Well, uh, I didn't draw this model all the way till there. This model isn't drawn all the way to the feet. But yeah, here we go. The face. As you can see, if you look over to the left, sorry, to the right. As you look over to the right, you can see the small little chibi model, right? I just decided to keep that there because for good old times. And, well, a bit more of a reveal. Hello. And let's zoom out. And this is it. This is as far as I made the model. Here we have it, the full-size model. hmm And it's a lot more expressive. The previous model could only it could do some amount of it could do some things, but this one's like a lot faster. I move like it's a lot more accurate, I guess. It's got a little more physics installed too, and I can do a lot more just basic expressions, just with my eyebrows especially, and my eyes like, oh, what? So I'm gonna put myself over here. Yeah, there's nothing below. Just because I'm using the free version, so I can't go all ham and just make the model as you know ridiculously big as I want, because that would just be that would be too convenient for me, wouldn't it, Patrick? Oh, yeah, engineers, because you said shit. I don't know why it just blocked that out. That's why I couldn't see your comment. A little like, thanks, Devourer. Uh, well, Peter. Yes, there's a little bit of physics going on. This is the full size model. Well, it's it's almost full size. It's like 80% the model, 90%. I don't know. Depending on your fetishes, you could say that the feet are a lot more than just 10% of the body. You know, but I've only gone this far because there's as much quality as I could stuff in without going overboard. Yeah, I might be able to do. I might have enough room to actually add the legs in next time as well. And Patrick, yes, I see your mommy joke. You made the same joke last time when you saw the preview, and what do you think? It's like the rigging was hell. Okay, and there are actually some things where if I move the head in like very certain angles, it just looks weird. You know, but I feel like more or less got all the rigging working just about fine. And can I I know I can. Yeah, I've got crying. Ignore that. I completely forgot that I completely forgot that was the thing. I didn't rig that properly. Physics. I've also got one one pose. I can do this one thing. That's it. I've actually got enough room in the model where I could make a bunch of different arm poses and just swap between them. But the problem is I can't remember all those all those shortcuts. Oh yeah, there's also something cool. So take a look at dark. Hold up, dark mode. Have a look. Dark mode Starlight. Hmm? And not just dark mode Starlight, I've also got heart eyes. Although they might be too small. That might be a bit of an issue. The eyes. They can't be. They're not that visible. Uh, and then we go back to D mode. Patrick, why would you say that, man? But yeah, I so I've got you know. So to explain to you what you see around here, okay, not just me, but more or less just the board around us. Dark mode's just the light behind you. No offense. Yeah, Devour, it's fine. I mean, dark mode's just basically if I'm playing a game or something like because Monday's games are Dark Monday. That's the specific theming, right? So if I play a game that's like basically the screen super dark, the dark mode is just so that I can be on screen and I could make myself like super dark so I don't blind you. Although that's not really going to be that much of an issue anymore. So yeah, I'm gonna just walk you through what little you see around me. So this it took me a while to get just a basic board running. I want to do that thing which I've seen a lot of VTubers do. They've got like this custom text and everything. I want to do that. I don't know how to do that, but I want to do it. I'll look it up later. I just genuinely was running out of time. I made this all today, actually. This board you see, I made it today. I actually had to go and re-rig the model's face just because I wasn't entirely happy with how it looked when I was like turning and tilting and stuff. Uh, so yeah, behind me, right here to the left. I'm gonna move a little bit. This is the poster for the Endless Plateau. It's the comic. I'm the artist of this comic. If you look in the server, that's what you constantly keep getting pings for. Yeah. So the comic will come out every Friday, which is great. The debut and the comic launch is supposed to be simultaneous, on the same week, but I wasn't available, so that kind of things kind of got screwed up. But I think it ended up kind of fine. My debut is still on the launch of the second chapter instead of the first chapter. It's still monumentous, probably. I don't know if lasts long enough. That's still going to be a bit of lore. And on this, you see this bookshelf where there's just this beaten up bunny doll, and well, you know, my first VTuber model reduced to a doll. So the idea for the bookshelf is basically I'm just gonna as I keep going on with the streams and stuff, we're gonna eventually be like, yo, let's draw that. And so, with the comic, maybe I'll make like a little doll for all of the main characters. Like the Dungeon Life also, I'm making a lot of fan art for that. I'll eventually like possibly fill up this I wanna fill up this this bookshelf with just all sorts of stuff, including like all the including all of the I don't know why I just my words ran out. Just all of the scions, SCIONS. All of the help me out. Does anyone know how to pronounce that? Marketable plushie. Yes. Yeah, that's basically it. I'm gonna fill it with I'm gonna make art, which is basically just a whole bunch of they're gonna look like little plushies. So I'm gonna design the plushies for all of the things, like all of our comics characters, all of Dungeon Life's characters, and I'm just gonna fill my shelves. And eventually, I'm going to have to replace. I mean, eventually, I'm gonna have to figure out a new way to show it all because this shelf is eventually gonna be super full. But that's the dream. Eventually, just fill it up. That's gonna be great. I probably got enough art that I could just plaster the walls full with art, but the problem is that we nowhere to actually show the chat. So that'd be a bit of an issue. It's like CONS. Lady Aska. Oh, hello there. Thanks. Thanks, Lady Aska. Yeah. So I just it took a while. Actually, this model's been done for a really long time. It's just today I finally, got a chance to do the debut. There were a lot of things I was supposed to align, and life just kept getting in its way. Oh, yeah. By the way, Patrick and everyone else, Lady Aska. Okay. Uh, she's a VTuber too, mostly 3D VTuber, and basically her Discord channels. It helped me get set up with everything. Basically, there's a lot of resources there, and they taught me a lot about how to, you know, about using Live 2D, getting the model set up. They gave me feedback on like the first model also. Some a little bit of advice as well, which really helped a lot. You know, I know what it takes just linking parameters. If you move left, right, if you move up, down, why don't you just say those two are one parameter? It's like, oh, that makes a lot of sense. But yeah, um, other than that, there's not too much new over here. I will show you. This is a kind of a cool thing. Windows. Now I have this overlay, and I think you might agree it works pretty well. So, okay, I'm gonna be honest. I didn't fully test this overlay to see if it all looks right and everything like that. That's kind of I'm offloading the work onto you guys. Oh, well, that's unfortunate. The chat gets reset. I didn't know that would happen. I'm gonna be honest. I might be from India, but I'm not actually a technical support guy. So yeah, I what I did was I basically looked up a whole bunch of overlays. I found out that was kind of nice, and I just took that one and I just took the measurements from that. So I was like, okay, the screen size is this much. I'm gonna have my screen size be that much. Oh, they got the chat like this. I'm gonna make my chat like this. All of the stuff you see here, 100% mine, original. Which is, I mean, I shrug. I'm not. Obviously, you can't look at this and think, oh, you stole that from someone else. Like, it's very basic. Look at this. It even says just WIP, work in progress. But yeah, so essentially, this is like the full screen, and whatever I'm doing will be showing up over there. So basically, my avatar isn't going to get in the way. And if you guys think that it's way too small or something, I'll. Hmm. Ah, don't worry about that, Lady Aska. 15 minutes and we already found the first bug llama. Oh, wait. No, that's not a bug. I just remembered. What happens is I have the chat set to auto disappear after a minute. I completely forgot I had that enabled. That's the reason for that is just because I used to play like just completely full screen, so the text would be on the side and over the game, and it'd be kind of annoying. Uh, but yeah, so the way how I see it is, this board is maybe troublesome to some people because it occupies a big portion of the screen, right? So the amount of area you have to watch the game or whatnot, it's a bit shrunk. But at the same time, nothing will interfere with the game. So the chat and me, the model, it's not going to interfere with the game. Nothing's going to be hidden. That is a benefit. I'm going to have to just go back real quick and just double check. Anyway, yeah, Lady Aska, don't worry about it. There is still a delay on my end as well because I'm not reading the chat as soon as it comes up. I'm reading the chat as soon as it comes up on screen. So the delay is going to be from you typing to it showing up on screen. Then I have to see it and read it, which is, that's a big delay over there because not much going on up here. And then there's going to be the delay of you seeing what I've said. It's a beautiful conundrum what we find ourselves in. Also knocked it out of the park with a thumbnail. So awesome. Thanks for that. I'm not gonna say that was unique. That was not unique by any means of the imagination. The thumbnail I did was fairly basic. So I just was like, okay, yeah, I'm just gonna use the VTuber model. I'm gonna use the silhouette like mentioned, and I was just looking up a bunch of thumbnails like, oh, simple. Name, debut stream, and then colors. So that's what I did. Sorry if I seem critical. There's also. Give me 1 second. Let me just double check your words. 16 minutes and we found our first bug. Well, Devar, don't worry about it. You've not said anything that seems critical. At least, I'm reading the chat. I don't see anything that you said that's critical. Listen, things being scuffed, yeah, that is something I genuinely have to fix, improve on. So far, luckily, the one thing that's scuffed is I forgot to change the setting. That's good. Like there's a whole lot else that could have gone wrong, but at the very least, it's somewhat limited. You know, it's exactly what's needed. Thumbnails are meant to be simple. Thanks. Again, I was struggling with what on earth do I do for the thumbnail. So I went to your Discord and asked around, and I got advice from you, which was definitely very helpful. And I used that advice, and I went on YouTube and just searched up what other people have been using roughly. I was like, okay, great. So I can just say debut stream and name, and that should work. Looking at the thumbnail now, it would have been a little better if I just made this little like this bit over here a bit transparent. But I already done it. What else can I do now? Okay, so for my debut, this is going to be the most scuffed part. Okay, the absolute most scuffed it could possibly be. Ignore whatever pops up. Don't look at that. Okay, thank God you didn't look at that. That's good. That's good. Did I? I remember to send a tweet, right? Yeah, I did. Okay, that's good. That's good. Google document. So over here, I have a Google slideshow. Oh yeah, Patrick, I'm definitely gonna be feeling that urge. Maybe in 10 years. Maybe in 10 days. I know what I'm like. So I have over here the most scuffed part of this entire live stream, probably, hopefully. My backstory is literally on a Google slide. And it's all just text. So here's what's gonna happen. We're not gonna look at this yet. Okay? We're not gonna look at this. This is not gonna help. So this is specifically all of this is written by the author, okay? The guy who writes the comics, right? Dr. Alexander. He's written all of this stuff. So this is supposed to be basically these are lies and slanders. Okay, I will not stand for it. I am going to just tell you about my backstory first. So let's go back to the board. And one small issue I noticed was I I decided to make a super quick thing. So I just I basically saved my position as all the way down there just for the reveal, just to, like a shortcut method. I probably shouldn't have done that, but I did it. Oopsie. hmm yeah. Whenever I switch back, the chat for a moment is just super delayed. Don't worry about that. It'll eventually catch up. Okay, so I'm gonna tell you about my backstory, my lore. You know, first off, I don't say this often enough, but I keep thinking it. You, the chat, are seekers. That's that's what I'm gonna keep. That's what I'm gonna call you. That's what I'm gonna keep calling you. It's the most basic bitch way I could possibly say it. To be fair, okay. Like you know how Calamari calls people like deadbeats, and then everyone else like they've got something they say, right? For me, I'm keeping it very simple. Seekers. Why are you seekers? Well, you're seeking something. You're seeking knowledge. You're seeking entertainment. Just something, right? It's honestly that's I could have thought of something a bit more creative, something a bit more unique. Like I could call you Little Lights or something, but that feels really weird, you know. So I decided, you know what? I'm gonna keep it simple. Hmm? Seeker, but I'm an engineer. Oops. Yeah. Okay. Well, engineer. That sounds a lot like being a seeker to me. You're seeking the secrets of construction. Sorry. Sorry. Okay. Okay. So the lore for me, Starlight, it's pretty simple. I had a pretty simple basic about upcoming. Uh, classic scholar of magic. I'm not gonna call myself a witch. Scholar of magic. That's a good word. Some people might say witch, but scholar of magic. That's again, that's the appropriate wording. You use for someone of my magical disposition. Uh, well, I I had a pretty simple backstory, simple life. I shouldn't call it backstory. I'm talking about myself over here. Simple life. Growing up from like a so and so position. Uh, I discovered the secrets of magic by reading into the stars. And I was so successful that I managed to open up my own school, my own magical academy. And it was amazing for a while, it's a way too hectic from what I thought it would end up as, but I was quite renowned, like Starlight Aurora, the leader of the magical world. I mean, it's what they called me. It's a bit grandiose, but I didn't pick the name. Hmm? Yeah, I put a lot of thought into it, but I forgot to do I forgot to do the most important thing, which is actually doodle, my lore. But don't worry about it. I thought of it all. So from being the leader of the magical world, again, grandiose name, but I didn't pick it. It was given to me. I'm a very humble magical scholar. It was all just a bit too much for me. Like, and as in most fantasy worlds, I don't want to call it a fantasy world, but from your world, you'd call it a fantasy world. I'd call it more of the a realistic world, while yours is like a weird nonsense world. But yeah, as per fantasy world tradition, we were under attack from the great demon lord. Well, I wouldn't really call him. I wouldn't call the demon lord great, but that's technically what they were, right? See, everyone kept calling them the Great Demon Lord, and I just realized that there's no music going on. Whoopsie doodle. But yeah, so we did the usual thing, right? I say we, not me. Although I did provide a lot of the resources, a few of the reagents, but the royal family did borrow, yeah, I'll use that word. They borrowed a human from your world. I'm not going to tell you their name, but they were a hero. And so they got summoned in, and really special. I wouldn't call them. Hmm. I lack words. I lack words to describe how special he was, but let's just say he had no problem collecting pretty much anything he needed. He was like on a one-man war party against the demon lord. Well, I say one man. He did have a full party of about seven. I'd say eight, but I'm pretty sure you count two twins in a trench coat as one person, right? Yeah, two goblin twins in a trench coat. I'd call them one person. So he had he had a full party of seven, and he just kept blitzing the demon lord's army one after the other. Well, he did have a lot of problem when the anti-magic people came up, but that's where I stepped in. So me, the leader of the magical world, you know, excuse me. Oh yeah, me, the leader of the magical world, helped save the world alongside the hero. And then I had to retire for unforeseen circumstances. It was just too much. The stress of, running a school is just a little bit too much. But yeah, it's all pretty good now. I'm retired, that's what I'm going to say. And I'm living in a nice, happy cabin in the woods, streaming to the magical archives. Yes, that's how I'm going to say it. I'm just going to read the chat now really quickly. Oh, yep, Peter. Yeah, Peter. Fantasy world, as per the norm, as per the tradition's decree. It's not the same fantasy world as these guys over here. Well, it's honestly really similar, but it's not quite the same. The Endless Plateau is, well, an infinite plane. My world was a standard circle, a sphere. Man grinded to max. He did. He did start like pretty weak, but after like killing a few thousand slimes, he did get quite strong. It was impressive. Uh, Typical Isekai protagonists. So, what I'm gonna do now is we're gonna treat this like a little bit of a Q&A. So just ask me any questions you have, and I'll try my best to answer it. and then we're gonna go see what the author wrote. You know, what's his deal? You know, what did Dr. Alexander write about me? Because Dr. Alexander has been commissioned to write about me, and we're gonna see. We're gonna see how. I've heard allegedly there's some slander in there, but apparently it's supposed to be quite glowing, and I'm happy. I'm pretty excited to see what he's written. So you know, well, well, Peter, you wonder how old I am. Well, that's it, 27. Yeah, that's there's no magic going on over here. I am just that young. Yeah, no, I may be a scholar of magic, but I'm a very gifted scholar of magic, so I reached that position really fast. I didn't like train for like decades or something and become immortal. Then that'll eventually come. Immortality is an eventuality. I will get that. I will get there, probably. You know, or at least eternal youth. But no, currently I don't. I do not have that. Yes, down to earth. Yep, that's me. Starlight, humble, down to earth. I don't brag. I never brag. Well, Patrick, what inspired me for the lore? I don't exactly know what you mean by that. I mean, yes, you people over there on Earth do have a ton of stories about these isekai heroes, going to the other world, killing, vanquishing the demon lord, getting all sorts of overpowered abilities, getting their harems, and I'm not gonna say that inspired me. I'm gonna say that it just happens to be very similar to my world. You know, who knows? Maybe someone from my world just ended up, or maybe it's I don't know. I'd say maybe someone from my world ended up in your world and wrote all those stories, or it's just tradition, huh? Amongst all the worlds. I don't know. I only know about my world and your world, and I guess these guys' world. But I kind of think that they're like in a separate little. They're special, you know. They're a little special. Well, the you don't, Peter. What do you mean you don't brag modesty? That no. Wait, you don't brag mostly. Oh, that's what you meant to say. I completely misread that. Yeah, I don't brag. I never brag. Hmm. I never brag, which is why I mean, look at this. With someone who made, look at this, look at this bookshelf. Would someone who made this bookshelf be allowed to brag? No, I didn't even put seams on it. I literally just made it. I forgot. I don't. Obviously, I'm not going to be bragging. I don't have the ability to brag. I'm too humble and too aware of my limitations to brag. My sadly low attention to detail. Hmm. I could have sworn I did better. Oh well. Well, Devourer, what are your views on? What are your views? Wait, sorry. What are the views of your society on blood magic, as in magic that uses the sacrifice or suffering to work? Well, hmm. uh, my legal team has told me. Um, my legal team has told me that blood magic is bad. I will not I will not affirm or deny if I believe in what my legal team tells me, but that is what my legal team tells me. You know, if I were to find anyone using blood magic in my school, that allegedly I would never. I have never found anyone using blood magic in my school, but if I ever had, that would be a very bad thing, and I'd have to give them a very stern talking to. But I've never seen anyone use blood magic in my school. I mean, I've never actively looked, but I assume no one has used blood magic in my school. Legally, I am in the clear. For a sexted doubt. Why? Morales, no, 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 no. See, Morales, this is not an IKEA bookshelf, okay? This bookshelf, I mean, it's more of a budget IKEA bookshelf. Like they gave it to me, and as you can see, it's actually just like about like 5 inches deep. It's not much, you know. I actually didn't have enough space. I screwed up, and I was supposed to apparently install a few more screws. I was supposed to get like a little bit more, install like there were some extra pieces that I just didn't use. And so apparently, when you don't put all the pieces in, you don't get the full piece of furniture. Who would have imagined, right? That's just insane. Absolutely insane. Okay, well, does blood magic have adverse effects like putting high blood pressure on someone? Well, allegedly, I personally have not don't have any first-hand experience of blood magic, but as a scholar of magic, I've learned a lot about it. So, um, hmm. The side effects of blood magic do involve high blood pressure, low blood sugar. Surprisingly, I mean, if you use the right curse, you can increase the blood pressure, but quite significantly. It's not a good time. It's not a good time. Right? The blood sugar. My mistake. It's specifically called. What was this spell called? Some morbidius obiticidus. Hold up a second. I'm just looking over at the stream. Is the stream glitching out every now and then? Wait, just do me a favor. Like, is the screen flashing dark every now and then? Because I'm just looking at. Because I finally just opened it up on my little tablet, and I was just looking at it, and just now and then things are just like going black. Is that just my imagination? Am I just like going crazy? Yeah, yeah, Peter. That's right. I apparently it was supposed to be like a proper size bookshelf, but you know I couldn't be bothered to fit all the pieces in because I was in a bit of a rush for the debut. I'm gonna have to actually go back in there. Like you can see it, right? You can go in and see it. Like the little Starlight doll, it is actually flush against the back of the back of the bookshelf, and her little feet are actually sticking out. If you can just see right there, right? You can see her boots. They're just sticking out from the bookshelf. They're just like a little popping out. So there's just like no space whatsoever over there. It's kind of unfortunate. What made you start streaming for non-magical? Well, you see, I had no better idea what to do with my time, so I thought it'd be fun. And engineer, so you could cure diabetes? Yes, technically. Now, the reason why blood magic is strictly illegal, despite the fact that it could cure diabetes, is because the cure for diabetes is basically, how do I explain this? I don't. I honestly ran out of ideas. Do you guys want me to put on some music? Yes, some very light music to put on the background. Uh, Engineer, the answer is yes. You could cure diabetes with it. Blood magic is useful for healing, as well. But the cure for diabetes is technically you have to kill them, resurrect them, and while they're being resurrected, you got to use blood magic on them. Yeah, it's kind of messed up. But you know, I mean, the research in blood magic for helping people is quite low. The only person who I've known to actually use blood magic to help people is like a doctor, and he had to do it all in the back alley, so he doesn't really get a whole huge amount of diabetics who are like, doctor, 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 can you please help me? Uh, you know, there are years of research are needed, or alternatively, thousands of deaths. Depends on which one you think is cheaper. Not on my end. Okay, that's good to hear, Patrick. I guess it's just my imagination, either that or the fact that I just opened it up and it was refreshing. Ah, yes, break through multiple dimensions to talk to multiple people with no maidens. I mean, I'm here technically. Question mark? Question mark? I mean, the Starlight and the Earl is not a maiden, but I am. This one, right? What you're looking at is, well, yeah. I mean, well, and you'd also have to like really trust the blood mage, like which if they're a blood mage, they're probably not trustworthy. Just because of who they are as a person. Okay. So yeah. I'm looking at all the chat, and it seems everything's going perfectly good. Just streams usually last about 2 hours, and this is honestly the most people I've ever had in a chat, which is impressive. 5 people watching. That's a record number for me. Uh, okay, Devourer. That's sad to know. May Gorgoroth give you a swift and timely death. Woof. Whoopsie doodle. As in moderator, how would the term caretaker instead? Excuse me? Oh, Patrick, are you saying that you being the moderator means that you're the caretaker now? I mean, that's not really much I can say about that. I guess maybe it might be true. Who knows? Hmm? Any other questions? The way how I see it is either I run out of questions, or we spend an hour doing all of this, and then we go on to just reading what Doctor Alexander says. Does one know the part of Quasar? As a knowledgeable scholar of magic and leader of the magical world, yes. Whatever Quasar is, it just slips my mind. When you know too much, when you know everything, all the small little details just kind of slip your mind, right? So yes, Peter, uh, probably. I cannot vouch for that 100%. But if I'm right, know that I'm all knowing and that I was right. And if I'm wrong, it just happened to slip my mind. You can't win them all. I've just dropped my phone like an absolute idiot. Whoopsie doodles. Okay, my phone's perfectly fine, so crisis averted. Well, Patrick, do I use my cauldron to do my streams? Well, you see, that's not feasible. So what I actually, because technically I could, but that's all the like when a bubble comes up, I can't really read what is happening. So no, I've just got a computer. Like, okay, listen, it's magical. Okay, it's basically just like it's a glass that's like inscribed a whole bunch of magical runes to connect to your vault. But yes, it's a computer for all intents and purposes. Magic over here is like we got high tech magic. Okay, I think I don't know. Like, what's the best description? High magic would be a thing. Like we got really powerful magic, but Magitech, I guess Magitech. Like in what Final Fantasy, I think that's probably a good approximation. You can use magic to simulate technology. Till blue screens. You'd be surprised how often that happens. Although it doesn't go blue over here, it just kind of pops. And then you just gotta like put it in the wash and actually just fix it that way. And then if the glass actually cracks, you need to get a new one, which is awful. So you gotta be really, really careful with it, or else you're done for. Little bit of a break. Uh, Remember to stay hydrated. You need a lot of water. It's really good for you. Blue pool of death. I mean, electronics would be pretty easy to do with control thunder magic. Yeah, I mean, Thunder magic is sound, which is what we used, like instead of speakers, we use instead of speakers, we use thunder magic. That's how that works. Lightning magic is electricity. Yeah, it's easy enough to get power, but like making it actually do complicated things is a bit more of a troubling thing. And could you excuse me one moment? I need to plug something in. Just give me a moment. A little bit of scuff we found out. My tablet was probably on like 1% battery. And there we go. That's all perfectly good. That's sorted. Lightning magic. Yeah. Yeah, well, yeah, Devard, you're pretty much right. Lightning magic's pretty good for lightning magic's pretty good for, making computers work. And there's also kind of a makeshift where instead of, having an actual LCD screen or whatever that is, we just use like light magic to actually just project the images. I it's easier to make for us. I guess it's also cheaper. Hmm. So light magic is the display. Lightning magic makes the whole thing work, and thunder magic is the sound. So we got everything. Glitchy start. Yeah, the tracking on this model is a lot better than my original model. In the original model, if I just move around a little bit, sometimes it just go. It would just stop working. I don't know why. But this model's a lot better. It only breaks when I get up. So yeah, that's a little unfortunate because I do like standing. Mhm. Oh wait, I didn't read your question earlier, Peter. I don't know. You want me to read it out like that every time, right? I want to magically power a Nerf gun so much so much it has enough. Oh wait. I want to magically power a Nerf gun so much that it has enough power to punch through 7 layers of steel. I I'm not 100% certain what a Nerf gun is. That's like one of those things that shoot out this orange bullets, right? Yeah, well, there was a hero who actually did that once. It was pretty insane. Like he had this, like it looked like a gun, right? Yeah, as far as I know, it was a gun, and he just had like just how do I best describe it? What magic was in it? Propulsion magic, but propulsion magic that was not thunder, wind. Yeah, he just had a ton of wind magic, and then also a lot of lightning magic. I think he called it sort of like a rail gun. And so he basically had these little Nerf bullets, right? But he had them like made out of like a little bit of metal also in them. So you just go bang, and it's just like a streak of light just from him to the enemy. Like it's just like the moment he pulled the trigger, it's like just like God himself just draws a line from his gun just straight into whatever he's shooting into, and it did go through. Well, uh, technically, technically, the Nerf bullet itself only made it through 2 layers of steel, but you know, the magic projectile fired with the Nerf bullet made it through the other 7 layers. Hey, yo, Cantarellus! I didn't expect you to pop by. Hello. So this is Cantarellus over here, the guy in green. He's also Dr. Alexander on the server. He's the author, and he's the one who's written the wonderful, wonderful piece about me, which I hope to be all only great things. I hope it'll be nothing unfortunate. Yeah, listen, Patrick, don't come on. He's got a busy day, and the timing of the stream is really awkward for him. The Demon Lord with a 90 kg tungsten rod is traveling in March 17 in a direct collision course with his skull. I mean, I'm not gonna say that's what happened to one of the Demon Lords, but I do remember that there was a time when one of the Demon Lords, okay, I believe it was Uruguay Bernardo. Yes. So it's a really cool demon lord. Like he had like this red skin, giant horns. Also piercings, surprisingly enough. You know, especially in the royal family, they don't really like piercings. But that's Demon Lord. Apparently, he was also like a reincarnated person from your world, and then the hero was a summoned person, and so they apparently got into a huge scuffle one time where they were basically both just trying to outbuild each other. It was kind of weird, and I mean, okay, to be fair, that was when I was like 4 or something. So I only have second-hand knowledge about it. But apparently, they both build giant castles, okay, right next to each other, and each castle had like a giant railgun planted on top of it, and they just kept firing it at each other. And that was what they said, something about like a final confrontation. Uh, yeah, both of them ended up dying because apparently, while they were really good and genius, like at building stuff, they didn't really comply with OSHA regulations, and so it kind of just mostly fell apart, and that was just kind of unfortunate. The two power gamers walked into the room. Yeah, basically that's about what happened. Modern warfare. Yeah, like see, this is why like in your world, like you've got someone who builds stuff, and then someone who comes in and makes sure the person who built it actually built it right. Otherwise, you get all sorts of nonsense where it's like, well, it works technically, when you have the hair dryer tied to the ceiling, fan, just loosely by the power cord, and you're like, well, it technically does its job. And when you actually try running under certain circumstances, it'll just all fall apart, just hit someone in the head, and then boom, whoopsie. War crimes are fun till you get war crimed. Yeah, I mean, I don't like being war crimed. That would be very unfortunate. So yeah, what do you guys say? Do you want to read what Cantrellus wrote? Cantrellus, Dr. Alexander. It's kind of troubling when he has like two names that are very opposed. Like he's got Cantrellus and Dr. Alexander. So I'm gonna call him the Otter just so that we have an easy time. Huh? Yes. Well, Peter, I'm gonna assume that yes is probably to the let's go see what he wrote, just because there is quite a bit of a delay between you and me and you. Oopsie. Oh, before I do that, okay, I'm gonna just really quickly go double check. Um, I think I should just go over to Stream Elements basically, and just try to get rid of that little bit of delay. That might be important. Um, so just give me one moment just to do a little bit of technical stuff behind the scenes. Let's see. No, elements overlays, overlay gallery. No, sorry, over. And here we come into my incompetence where I can't even click a single button. I'm like clicking, 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 and I'm not able to do it. Whoopsie. In game. Yeah, this is the right one. I mean, the same with me being Palaminus in this name. Yeah, well, Patrick, you could have changed your name if you felt that sensitive about it. I'm joking. I'm sorry. I'm joking. Don't worry about it. Settings. Messages fade. Show messages permanently. So messages do not fade anymore. That should be good. The chat is a lot smaller, but that just comes with the territory, doesn't it? And save. And then I'm going to come into here, escape. Oh, I can't really do anything. Oh well. Don't worry about it, I guess. Okay. Okay. Everything should be sorted now. Don't worry. Have no fear. Everything's good. Everything's good. It's probably that's not me trying to convince myself. That's just me trying to say that everything's perfectly fine. You don't need to worry about it. And here we go. Oh, this is not the right button. Slide. Go. Okay, so it is not. this is not going to automatically go forward, is it? That would be a bit of a problem. Yeah. So this Cantrellus is lower? Yes, this Cantrellus is lower. This is what he wrote about me. Well, technically, he's researched me. I've told him some things about me, and he's supposed basically it's my lore but his writing. Give me one quick second to just make sure I turn off. Oh no, it's not even turned on. I'm sorry, I don't know why the chat disappears when I switch. Because looking over here, it shouldn't actually do that. Okay, whatever. I'm gonna click that button anyway. Don't have no fear. So yeah, this is. Oops. Okay, what happened over here? Why did the chat? Is the chat just going all over the place? Okay, I screwed up, didn't I? What did I do? What did I do? I'm gonna give it a moment for the chat to catch up. Oh, it did. Okay, I know. The title says it all. Yeah. So this is my backstory, Starlight's backstory. Apparently, Dr. Cantrellus felt the need to say, the author felt the need to say, the truth, not some basic bitch lie. Hmm. That doesn't bode well for me. But I'm sure it's just an exaggeration. Maybe it's another editor. It's fine. So first off, I need to warn you, whatever you're gonna see here, this is all just text. I was supposed to draw stuff for it, but I got distracted by having to spend like 3 hours today trying to fix my model because I just realized I screwed up. And then I made all of this overlay and stuff. So please pay no mind that the artist didn't do any art. I'm so sorry. Okay, first off is a little bit of a this one section. Oh, don't worry, Canterless. We just started. First off, this one section, this is the video section. Don't worry. Everything else is small, small chunks. I'm just gonna read this all verbatim, and I'm going to try getting Cantrellus's voice. I mean, the Dr. Alexander. Okay, give me 1 second. Well, looks like I'm in charge of explaining this, says Alexander, sitting more comfortably than anyone should on a couch made of skin, which is still breathing. I'll be honest, I don't really want to, but look, I asked Bones, but he's getting a software update, whatever the hell that means. And he's been standing facing the wall in the corner for like 12 hours now or so. Needless to say, that is not happening, he says, pointing to Bones T-posing in the corner facing the walls next to the trash can. So Bones, just so you know, is a robot. Bones is an automaton that Dr. Alexander lives with. I do not know why he lives with him. I guess because Bones is a healer and the doctor usually needs someone around to deal with the aftermath of the surgery. You can talk normally. Oh, yeah, sorry, Peter. Okay, I won't do that then. So this one little section, I'm just gonna have to read it out loud. But other than this, it's gonna be a lot easier to get through. It would have been easier if I did the art, but I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Oh, and then I wanted to ask Tiny, but when I got to her room, all I heard were loud moans and minotaur grunts. So, whoopsie. I might have to stitch her back to get. Hmm. Ganderellis, this is this is very awkward. But would you be interested in hopping on the Discord and trying to read this out loud? I just want to make this as awkward for you as possible. You don't have to. If you can't, it's fine. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Just a suggestion. Like, are you willing? Are you able to? I mean, fair enough. I'm sorry, could you repeat that? Oh, but what this candy is the Dark Elder. Okay, first. Hmm. Okay, so I'll just continue. I might. So he says that I might have to stitch her back together again after she's done having her fun. But then I think she's gonna be in there for a few hours. Yeah, that's fair. That's another. If you guys would prefer to read this yourself, I can do that completely. This is a very weird, awkward thing for me, but I'm the one who chose to do this. So, not much I can do here. I did not even try to ask little sister because she still hasn't apologized for eating all of my sober dwarf livers. Seriously, those things are ludicrously rare to get, you stupid little fatty. He screams as he hits the wall behind him repeatedly. Oh. As for Hazaro, I won't even bother because he can't even finish one sentence before getting possessed by a different ghost and starting to argue with himself. Context, these are all Catrill's D&D characters. Knowing Brando, he's probably in her bed right now as he speaks, so that's a no-go. I won't confirm nor deny that. Plus, he definitely won't be objective about her and would just tell you some random bullshit to make her look good. Excuse me. That's called being a gentleman, okay? And finally, well, I can't find Cantrellus, but I'm pretty sure he's about 600 meters underground, tripping balls in a cave with some mychonoids he barely knows, so looks like I'm the only one left on the task. He sighs in exasperation as he grabs his blood-stained nose and puts on some new eyes. Uh, okay, just so you know, when he says he puts on some new eyes, I need to explain to you. He doesn't change his sunglass. He doesn't change his eyeglasses. He doesn't magically just swap like to the Sharingan or something. No, no, no. Uh, he literally pulls out his eyes and puts in a new fresh pair. As you can see, Dr. Alexander is a bit of a, when you call him a doctor, it's a bit of an exaggeration. He's kind of a former doctor, but you know, he doesn't really know, like the Hippocratic Oath doesn't exist to him. Let's just get this over with. I managed to grab a fresh bandit off the road today, and I don't want it fresh. I don't want the dragon flesh I'm going to attach to him spoil before I can actually get it done. He then starts talking. Okay, now this is where it's gonna get a lot easier. It's not gonna be anywhere near as dense, so don't worry, don't worry. This is the story of the little bit witch known as Starlight. Excuse me. Well, to be fair, she isn't technically a witch. That's right. I am not. I'm a scholar of magic, but nor is she a scholar of magic like she'd likely to try to tell you. Excuse me. Cantarella's doctor, Dr. Alexander. What is this slander? Okay, guys, so just so you understand, all of this, what you're going to see here, this is slander, okay? This is probably slander, but I did sign a contract, which now that I think about it, I probably shouldn't have, so I have to finish reading this. She definitely doesn't have the brain of a witch. Maybe the brain of a sandwich, but a witch? Don't kid yourself. And no, I don't mean that she lives in the desert, I meant a foot. But excuse me. Excuse me? I thought he was gonna, I thought he was gonna be like, I thought he was gonna say that I was like like a magic, like a meister of the desert for a second, but no, this man's just insulting me. I can't believe this. Okay. The one part I can sympathize with, however, is her beginnings. Let's not beat around the bush. She was a slum kid. I mean, I'd prefer to say, of ordinary ascent. Not even one with a family either. Well, you know, you don't need blood relatives. That's fine. That's fine. Don't worry about it. I don't know if I could even consider my own life better or worse than hers until now, but at least that part is definitely worse than my own beginning. Okay, sure. I like sympathy, although Don't look down on me. Sympathy's fine. Just give me good sympathy, not bad sympathy, please. Please. Now, don't ask me how that idiot managed to survive on her own long enough, excuse me, to discover her own magical talent. But the point is, she did. Just in time, too, because if she didn't, she would have definitely been turned into a red puddle on the ground by the grizzly otter. Otter. Dr. Alexander, are you in the chat? How do you know about this? Okay, how do you know about this? Excuse me? Okay, now listen here. Now, for context, this is just a. I once slayed a legendary beast when I was 10. Okay? That's what I'm gonna say. Do not look up what a grizzly possum is. Okay? It was a legendary beast as big as a dragon. Do not look it up. Okay? Do not look it up and find out it was just like a 2 meter tall angry possum. Basically, what happened is she was scavenging for trash because. Anyway, she was apparently looking for something in the wrong trash can, and out burst this huge grizzly possum whose rude awakening made him thirst for blood. Yes, I was. Listen, I might have been attacked, but it ended perfectly fine. I was not harmed. In fact, I was so wonderful. The town guard gave me a lot of money as a reward. Don't ask me how he thought that toothpick of a storming orphan could be nutritious. I don't need people, so I wouldn't know. Asked the little sister and said, angry off-screen glare. So anyway, she panics, raises her arms, and what do you know? Shot. My typo. I'm sorry. Light shot out of her hands, and the Grispo goes back to sleepo, but permamento. I mean, I prefer to call it an epic battle. But yes, if you want to just say light shower in my hand, we can keep it at that. We can keep it at that. I won't ask you to force yourself. Don't take money from strangers. Listen, money from strangers. That's the best. That's the best way to get money. Okay, they don't know you. Alexander's proud of his shitty joke. Well, I'm glad he's self-aware. what I'm saying is he made the thing's heads explode. Yes, thank you. He died. Okay, he fucking died. Yes. Uh, that is what happened. It it was not an epic battle. I'm sorry, I lied. It was mob trash, and it just died in a single hit. So of course she spends a few hours panicking. I was calm and composed, and once she kind of understands how her powers work, she decides to go use them on the street. Well, eh, years of magical research. I'm a magical scholar. Okay, what she did basically was scam people. False. Uh, Cantarellas, my legal team will. Dr. Alexander, you will be hearing from my legal team later. But this is all slander, okay? This is lies and slander. I would never scam anyone. I would never lie to you, too, okay? Listen, I was once the leader of the magical world. Okay, I was once the leader of the magical world. I would never lie to you. Sell pebbles with light cast on them. They were precious gems. They precious gems, and pretend they were gems and chiplet. Excuse. It got her into trouble quite a few times, but at least now she had a better way to choose violence when she needed. Listen, killing the witnesses. I would never do that. Okay, I would never scam people. But you do need to dispose of the witnesses if you do such a thing, such an evil thing. I would never do such an evil thing, so I've never done. Please, please, lies and slanders. Don't believe him. Okay, just please do not believe him. Okay. So she made her life a little more comfortable that way. I mean, it was still shit. Don't get me wrong, but just slightly less so. Excuse me, it wasn't that bad. Oh, ignore that. Give me a second. Close that. Anyway, you know how the saying goes: if you don't go to school, school goes to you, or something like that. She tries pulling off her shit on some inconspicuous old whiz. Of course, he knows this crap and is thus unimpressed, so he trolls her. She gets annoyed, of course. She starts a fight because she is just way too moronic to read the damn room. Okay, listen. I did not expect, I did not expect that useless old man to be a level 20 wizard. Okay? You, it's, why was he on the street? Why was he drunk in that back alley? So, after unsurprisingly absolutely mopping the floor with her face, he picks her up and brings her to school so she can become an actual adult, an actual magic user. I, I, I can't deny this. I can't deny this. But I was a lot more dignified than this paragraph. Listen, you see this paragraph. I was a lot more dignified than this would ever suggest. Okay, it. I was graceful. I took my defeat. No, Patrick, this is not coping. This is not coping. Okay, I took my defeat with grace. Okay, with grace and dignity. You're not believing me, are you? I'm not seeing a lot of belief in me in your eyes. I'm looking you in the eyes. I'm not seeing a whole lot of it. Sure. Devourer? Excuse me. As you can see, Dr. Alexander is at least really good at writing. I'm not going to say he's good at telling the truth, but he's good at writing. First thing she learned to do well was augment her chest size with magic because of. Okay, listen here. Doesn't everyone want a waifu, who's fully customizable? Uh, yeah? Uh, yeah? Uh, Other than that, she learned to barge. No, that doesn't mean being an info. That just comes naturally to most parts. And she was totally on her way. That's just me. Okay, fine. Fine. I might actually just be a bard instead of a wizard, okay? Me being a scholar of magic, I might have studied, you know, the stories of magic instead of you know, the mat. But no, listen, this is all slander. Just, I might be a bard. Just keep that in the back of your head. So, for legal reasons, but I am a wizard, a powerful and wise scholar of magic, an unmatched, peerless wizard, leader of the magical world. So what she did was learn to use the stars of Anansi. That is why I'm the witch. That's why I'm the witch of Starlight. Excuse me, magical scholar. The constellations, the great zodiac, and the voice of the singing angels, and all that fancy crap. Thus giving her the ability to turn stories into magical force. The stories into magical force. That is definitely my lore. That's definitely my study, my area of study. By the time she was 20, she was a full graduate and out of school, proving once again that you really don't need to be that smart to go to university. Listen, I am extremely smart and humble. Okay, don't slander me like this. Okay, so at that point, take a wild guess what she starts doing. Come, play along. Guess. Well, you see, right after university, why don't you guys guess? I did tell you about my backstory, right? Hmm? Pop quiz. What are you paying attention? Oh, whoa, 7 people watching. That's like a new record for me. Patrick. No. No, 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 no. That's the incorrect guess. Okay, you're wrong answer. I'm not going to dignify that with an answer beyond that. Okay. Uh, in fact, wait a second. Wait, even I'm not supposed to be guessing. Yeah, sure. I guess we'll see what he says. But no, no, Patrick, I'm sure you're wrong. Okay, we're gonna click next, and we're gonna prove you wrong by subtracting where it is from where it isn't, and where it isn't from where it is. Whichever is the greater, it obtains a difference or deviation. I mean, yeah, that is true. That's how you get vectors, right? Nah, I didn't pay attention like in school. Okay. Well, uh, okay. Hold up. I'm waiting for one message to pop up. I see the message over there. I don't see the message over here. That's so bizarre. Oh, there we go. The guidance subsystem uses deviation to generate corrective commands to drive the missile from a position where it is to a position where it isn't, and arriving at a position where it wasn't. It now is. Okay, that's pretty interesting. So basically, you're saying that as a guidance system that basically uses vectors and that shit to just say, "Oh yeah, you need to go over there. You're currently over here, so you need to move like 5 meters to the left. Move 2 meters to the top, up." Well, anyway, everyone failed to guess, so I'm just gonna say succeed. That's what I did. I succeeded in life. Carto sectarius. I don't know what that means. Whatever. No guess. Oh, hello. Tikas Makan Garpu. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the stream. Basically, this is my debut stream, and we're currently reading what the author, Dr. Alexander, in the Discord server, has written. He's Cantorless over here in the chat. He has basically written about my backstory, and so far, it all happens to be lies and slander, with just some parts of it being true, okay? And so we're gonna see what I did right after college. If you scared, if you guessed scamming in uh blank, burning everyone she pleased, then you'd be right. Congrats for paying attention. Well, Patrick. Uh, I guess I guess apparently according to this slanderous article, you were right. I'm not saying you were right, okay? Now mark my words, Patrick. You were wrong. But according to this slanderous article, you were right. Are you sure about that, Peter? Moving on. Eventually, this crap got out of hand when she tried to pull a big scam by. I'm mostly quoting her here. False quote, false quote. Talking up some small time big shot and playing herself off to be a wise beyond her year's visit. Okay, listen, I am a wise beyond my year's visit. That's how I'm the leader of the magical world. I used to be. Okay? You know, instead of a horny. Okay, moving on. The fact that it actually unironically worked and it actually got her a bunch of funding to start a school. This kind of shit is exactly why started turning people into flesh weapons. You tell me how I'm supposed to treat. You tell me I'm not. You tell me how I'm supposed to not treat everyone else like a guinea pig when they clearly have the mental capacities of one. Face turning purple. Oh wait. Okay, this is so stupid. I don't know why. But yeah, Titus, I can see what you've written. I can see your emojis in chat, but in the actual text, it's just nothing. Whoopsie doodle. So yeah, basically I did start my school with, uh the funding of a very generous local town mayor. But you know what the real kicker is? This stupid drungo signed all the paperwork using her real name. Just let that sink in for a moment. It was an official business documentation, and I 100% meant to start the school. I was always destined to be like, I was destined to be an amazing, principal and school leader and founder and stuff. So it was only natural that I signed it with my real name. That was not meant to be a scam. Yeah, it was perfectly legit. So now she was stuck. She couldn't just run away, even though technically she absolutely could, just, not legally. And in fact, that's what she ended up doing later on. Because she had her name on official document crap and she couldn't freaking teach because, I mean, you've been paying attention, right? Excuse me, listen, I've taught you all lots so far. You've been my valuable students and seekers, and I've told you many, many insightful things, like, say, for example, about blood magic, which technically I didn't tell you anything because, Patrick, you prick. So now her only remaining option is to start an actual school and do what she does best. No, not Luther. The other one, aka failing upwards. I mean, listen, I was very successful, okay? However, it turns out there'd be more failings than ups, as it just happened that all of the dubious people she hired to do her job for her somehow thought that the whole ordeal was supposed to go towards the creation of a cult. Don't fucking ask me how. I'm just the messenger. Okay, listen. Yes, I love you too, Patrick. Don't worry about it. Now, okay, now the cult business was it was just a side business. Don't worry about it. Now, to her credit, she did use the fervor to actually start an actual cult instead of just chickening out of that situation. So honestly, I can respect it. But yeah, she had accidentally a cult, if you will. Now that has a lot of drawbacks, but it also has a lot of perks. So she was pretty content back then. Okay, listen here. Now, my teachers were loyal. Okay, the teachers I hired, they were good at their job and they were very loyal to me. Okay, after all, leader of the magical world. Okay, they might have been a bit too loyal, but a little bit of loyalty never hurt anyone, right? Ex- Except for yanderes, but we're not going to talk about those. This is fun. I'm glad you're having fun, Peter. Me just reading blank text. But yeah. Oh no. Did I accidentally? Did I accident a cult? Well, I I will not. Okay, legally, I cannot. I can neither confirm nor deny that. Okay. And then there's this hero guy. She refuses to tell me his name for some reason, but honestly, again, I don't give half a crap, so no complaints there. Well, listen here, you should care a lot. Okay, the hero's a great guy. Hero's a wonderful guy. Ah, and guess what? She actually fell in love with him. I mean, actual romance and emotions and shit. Actually, don't foul mouth love. Okay, okay, listen, Dr. Alexander, it was true love, okay? Don't give me that actual romance and emotions and shit. No, it was true love. We were meant to be. And the worst part is the guy was freaking abstinent too, and he already had a freaking harem, like of all the men and women in the world. Okay, listen, he wasn't. Okay, listen, he didn't have any problems. Okay, he was surrounded by a harem, but he was incredibly faithful. He was saving stuff, obviously, for me. Hmm? That's a very that's a very endearing aspect of him. You know. What is that? What do you mean caught in 4K? I know what that means. I know what that icon means, Peter. I am not being caught in 4K over here, okay? No, I'm not blowing up. Seriously. Even I have less red flags than that, and just look at me. Okay, I feel like this is not gonna work if I don't show you something. Resources, model, uh so Alexander is someone who I've been trying to work on for a little while now. Uh Dr. Alexander is a very, very happy man. But granted, he doesn't wear a shirt, which is, that's his choice. He's allowed to do that. He's also got all these scars, and he's this happy, happy smile. And he also happens to be wearing a cloak made of skin. He has told me it is not skin of a human. It is not the skin of a human, okay? So I'm going to assume that it's probably the skin of a giant. Show off. No, listen. This is Alexander, okay? I just need to show you Dr. Alexander because otherwise this would make sense. Oh, look. He's described himself. Tall, creepy, four-armed mad scientist who Nina Tucker's bandits together and wears a cloak made of human skin and also has dubious nails and hair care routine. Excuse me. Wait, Alexander, you told me it wasn't human skin. You told me your cloak wasn't made out of a human. Did you lie to me? Dr. Alexander, are you in the chat? You lied to me. You told me your skin wasn't made out of a human. Okay. Apparently it was possibly just made out of many humans. Okay, listen, Patrick, he's a doctor, okay? He shouldn't lie. He's obviously violated the other oaths. I know what told you that. Anyways, now as someone who had a family in the past and, well, I guess I technically still have them with me, he tugs at the flesh coat as he says that. Excuse me? You a family heirloom. So, okay, listen, Dr. Alexander, when you told me it was a family heirloom, I had many different ideas in my head, you know? I thought it'd be a sob story like your wife died and she gave you that beautiful, beautiful giant skin cloak. I'm not surprised to tell you this is where everything goes ass ways. No, that's not a salacious metaphor. That's just a normal figure of speech. Oh, thank God. With you, I didn't have any idea of knowing. All Mers Cross, I've seen yellow mages who seem less threatening. Is that a reference to fear and hunger? Devourer, that's a reference to fear and hunger, isn't it? One day I'll play it on the channel. So she wanted him to fall for her. And thus, of course, she starts talking him. Excuse me, listen, that's not stalking. I was following him out of concern, okay? He was gonna fight a demon lord. He needed all the help he could possibly get. And helping him behind the scenes. Absolutely no red flags there on her part either. Yes, absolutely. As you can see, no red flags. Devourer, I will play Fear and Hunger soon. I think the next Monday, not the coming Monday. I guess I shouldn't be too surprised since I still get occasional riz despite literally wearing human skin. Wow. So, I guess some people just get off on not reading the room. Anyway, then he finds out about the cult. Things go south. Not yet domestic violence happens. She books it, and well, yeah. Okay, listen. I meant to tell him about the cult after the third date, but we never really got that far, okay? So basically, now she's got no money, no. Excuse me, no damsels or doomsels, I guess. And what she does have is a huge bounty on her giant flat forehead from all the people she pissed off in her days, including Mr. Big Shot as well. Of course, and well, as you can probably imagine, that's quite a big group of people. Okay, listen here. That there was just a few clauses I didn't actually expect. Canterless, listen, it was going to happen. Okay, listen, Dr. Alexander, it was going to happen. Okay, it just s- stuff happened. You know. Oh, we're done. Yeah, that's about it. As you can see, that's how I got where I am. He stretches himself and puts his papers down. There. Now you know the whole catastrophe that is her existence. Oh, excuse me. I've got to get back to work. Joe the bandit over here isn't going to vivisect himself. Have a nice day, and remember, your body is fragile, so take care of it. Eat well, drink water, and most importantly, don't attack people unless you know you could win. Auf Wiedersehen, y'all. I don't speak German, so I don't even know. Patrick, no, I didn't. He walks off screen, cracking his main knuckles and waving his extra arms. And we're done. We have read through all of that, and we are all stronger people for having read through that now. Am I hitting the wrong buttons? I'm hitting the wrong buttons. Yeah, I'm back. We're back in the room. The room, guys. Okay, so the chat's gonna take a few seconds to actually just catch up. Don't worry about that. I'm just gonna read over there. Uh, so engineer says goodbye, y'all. Is auf Wiedersehen. Wiedersehen. Auf Wiedersehen is goodbye, y'all. I guess that does make sense. And we've got through it all. So that was basically my debut. Huh? What do you guys think? We we had an awkward situation where I did talk you through all of my backstory. I told you all about myself. Then we read that slanderous documentation written, slanderous documentation written by Dr. Alexander that once again, please do not take as truth. Do not take even a single word in there as true. The only one true here is me. You have to believe me. Don't don't believe that slander. Yeah, just because I was legally contracted to read that stuff doesn't mean I agree with any of it, okay? Character development because you didn't deny the last parts. Listen, things didn't work out with me and him, the hero. No, I will not tell you his name, okay? But it could have worked out. The whole. And yeah, okay, listen, it wasn't a scam. I have to tell you this so many times. It wasn't a scam. It was just a misunderstanding and a violation of the contract. A few phrases of it which I didn't really understand quite so much, especially the ones where I had to actually finish several semesters. Like I think it was like specifically I had to personally oversee about 3 years of the school, something like that. I don't know. Ask the lawyers. It wasn't my job to read all of that stuff. Although I did sign it, so I probably should have read it. Pretty cool. Okay, so hold up. Let me just read through this just so I don't miss it all. Uh, you you had hilarious, Patrick. That's cool. Is cool, engineer. Thank you. Uh, Cantrellus, that was not paper. Okay, listen. So the author says that Dr. Alexander didn't toss away the paper. He tossed away something that wasn't made of paper. We're not going to question that. Thank you very much. Made out of not pigs. So Devourer, pretty cool. 8 or 10 would participate again. Thanks. I'd appreciate it a lot. I'll basically be pinging the server. Like, I stream 4 days a week, and I'll ping the server every time I actually, I'm streaming. So if you do want to pop by again, that'd be really fun. I had a lot of fun today. I think today was like the most people in chat, and so I always just had something to bounce off of. It's just the most in tune that I've been. That and it's pretty good to actually just see, my, you know, the model like very nicely animated. Just so you guys know, the star is meaningless. Listen, Patrick, you don't have to be a prick all the time. You know that, right? This is nice. Thank you. Yes, bully the VTuber. Okay, so here's the cool thing. Because of how I made this model, right? I I can basically I can swap outfits and it won't break the rigging. So I can essentially as long as I don't, if I add more parts, I'll need to rig that, okay? But if I don't like add extra bits and pieces here and there, I can just completely swap the outfit, and I won't have to do any extra rigging work. It'll all just work. It's like Todd Howard. It just works. Little pause. Drink some water. Also, my streams are like quite short, in comparison to some other people. It's just 2 hours. My streams are just 2 hours long, versus some people do go on for like about 4 hours or something. So, you know, if you want to stick around as like not, it's not like super intense. And we do have half an hour left. What do you guys think? What do you guys think? For the remaining half an hour, any idea? Like, it is Friday. It's supposed to be Art Friday, but I think I'm showing off like plenty of art. But yeah, I figured the Art Friday is a perfect time for the debut. Yeah, we were up to 8 viewers, which is like unprecedented for me, and also like so many people in chat. I love it. Mess around in MS Paint. I can't do MS Paint. I just realized something. I just had like a zero IQ moment there for a moment. I just realized Peter Win Cedric. When you told me that you're Peter, I thought you were making a reference to the Peter joke in Family Guy. I didn't realize you were PE Eater. Oh my god, you're the guy in Discord. And here you have it. I'm a magical scholar. Okay, my IQ for the arts is my IQ for magic is unprecedented. My knowledge is unparalleled, but my common sense is sorely lacking. I have been told that common sense is not a very common thing to have. So, you second his offer. Hold up. Oh, wait a second. What is this? Okay, guys. I don't know if you're interested in reading this, but Dr. Alexander has sent me a description of Alexander. Would you guys like to see it? I mean, I say see it as if there's something to see. It's on Discord, so it's gonna be very complicated. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna open it. I'm just gonna swap to this screen, just really quickly, just so you can actually just read it. Okay. If you want to read it, you can read it. Otherwise, I'm also gonna try reading it out loud. It's just really small, so it is gonna be troubling for me. Can I magnify this? Magnifier. Thank you so much. My old lady eyes need this. Okay, so we have a magnifier. This is gonna be super useful. Uh, this is so dumb. I should have thought about this a bit differently.
Cannot read from here.
Okay, right. So give me 1 second to line this up. Okay. I don't know if any of you can read this. I'm gonna be honest. I can't see anything on the stream. So I'm just gonna look at this and just see if I can read this. This shambling figure is hard to miss, despite his very discreet presence. For no sane man, for no sane man could ignore the large, uncanny individual wearing a revolting cloak resembling, and perhaps even truly being, the skin of a deformed and extremely large humanoid. The cloak's face concealing his own may perhaps be for the best, as his sharp teeth shine in the darkness, and the shadows part only to reveal his toned chest covered in extremely nasty scars. His emaciated, disheveled, and thin hands ending in long, black, and sharp fingernails, with the consistency of volcanic glass. The whole of his gnarled figure is supported by two large, always bare and calloused, hairy feet with unkempt curly nails. Canon physique of Dr. Alexander. Well, that was honestly pretty impressive. So as you can see here, okay, if you heard that, that was Dr. Alexander's description of himself, which is he is always wonderful at describing characters. And nails it for some surgery. Himbo, himbo, Patrick, why? Oh, anyway, if you guys actually want me to do something on Paint, this is insane. But okay, let's open up Paint and let's see if I can do anything. This is not going to work. I'm going to explain to you right now. This is not going to work. Okay, hold up. Give me a second. Maybe if I move this over here, move this here, and I open up the other screen. This might be better. There. You can see you can see what I'm doing, right? Okay, this is insane. I'm gonna be honest. I cannot draw in Paint, but I will attempt to do so. What on earth do you guys want to see me draw? Also, do you want music? I kept asking you this, but I think someone said no, so I just decided not to. Yes, someone says. I saw something appear just now on chat. What was that? Must be my imagination. Don't worry about it. I guess. Okay, Paint without the T. Yeah, I'm definitely going to be in pain because Peter specifically knows what's up. He has spent years drawing in this application and he knows how terrible it is. Mm. There's only one layer and I'm used to drawing with at least like 10. Draw myself? Peter, you can't do this to me. You can't. Well, guess what? I've got references, so this is going to be wonderful. So I'm going to show you an interesting software. It's called PureF. Okay, PureF is a pretty good software. Okay, you can literally just open it up and drop in something and Control Y, and here we got PureF. So this is a picture to just have up, you know. And we're gonna just look at this. We're gonna compare. We're gonna compare. We're gonna see. This is my. Ignore what just happened. Ignore what just happened. That was not a technical error. That was just scuff. Okay. Okay. Right. Not sponsored. Okay. First off, can I not move the board around? I cannot zoom in. Oh no, this is it. This is my zooming in. Oh no, this is not going to be good. Okay, this is. Wait a second, is that it? That's the pencil, right? Do I not have a brush? I have a brush, right? Okay. A brush might be better. Mouse scroll wheel. The mouse scroll wheel, that is sad and disappointing. You can open your files and paste it in Paint itself. Yeah, I could. I know that, but I prefer to have this floating so it doesn't move around. Like that's the best part about having this thing around. It can just float and I can draw behind it even, as you can see there. So I'm gonna draw myself. But maybe I should draw myself. I don't know what expression would I possibly have. I'm crying. That's probably my expression. That's probably the best way to describe what I feel right now. Having to draw in paint. Okay, because I don't even know what Z does, and I keep hitting shortcuts. I keep hitting shortcuts expecting them to do something, but they're not doing anything. What's my nose look like? It's just a little bit. Whoopsie. With a smile, I have the paint. Okay. Here you go, Peter. I'm in pain and I'm gonna have a smile on my face while I bear the pain. Just grin. Just grin and deal with it. Oh no. Uh, let's see. Okay, let's see. Here we have the front hair now, and then we have the little strands of hair going on. I don't know what to call it. I'd call it strands. I call it maybe braids or something of the sort. And we have, of course, on the sides, we got these are braids. I honestly don't know what to call the comb. Comb over? It's not like I'm going bald, but I've already got a comb over. That's part of my hair. That's my identity, bro. It's what I am. It's part of what I am. It's part of who I am. You can open your file and yeah, I just saw Dr. Alexander just send something else, but I'm not going to look at that because I'm in too much pain. I'm in pain drawing this. Oh no, I can't even like make any small corrections. I don't think so. Uh, can you resize in paint? I don't know. I've not drawn in paint since I was like in school. Not even like college, just school in general. Uh, I don't know what just happened over there. You saw the screen flash, right? Well, that wasn't just my imagination, was it? Don't forget the hat. I cannot. Control Z works, but I can't like. I have to be careful about just making like little tiny fixes. I can't resize. It might be able to resize. I'm seeing a transform tool, or is that a crop? Okay. Just Patrick. This version of me, this outfit doesn't have a hat. One. So this is the most important thing is my sign. My sign has to be here. I can't believe we have 8 people here watching me try to draw myself in paint and in pain. Uh, I I think I've done. I think I've mostly done it. I've no clue. Hold up, the little star clip, because that's what I have going on. A little bit of hair over there at the side at the end, and the turtleneck. There we go. Here we have it. It's me in paint and in pain. No body, Listen here, you little. Okay, hold up. Can I move? Can I move this stuff? I'm gonna move it up there. Okay, and now fine. Let's do the body. Okay, hold up. I wanna save this really quickly because I feel like I would die if uh Starlight in pain in paint. I f- I feel like I would die if I just lost all this progress. Okay, how do no 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 no. Okay. Kill me now. No. I'm struggling so much with just basic operations. Okay, listen, I'm gonna draw up through the waist, and that's it. That's it. We're done with this. I'll have to do something else. I can't do this. You know, I please. Of course, the striped sweater. It's the best outfit choice. You know, I'm never gonna make the actual proper outfit. You know, proper Starlight outfit. Like with everything like perfectly fine. There's always something wrong. When I made the 3D model, don't forget no legs. Don't do this to me, please. Let's see. And what am I doing that's gonna cause me such pain? Obviously, I'm gonna be drawing. Obviously, I'm gonna draw. I'm gonna be drawing, and I'm canonically drawing in paint, and that's what's giving me so much pain right now. Oh no. Okay, hold up. Maybe if I take the selection tool and I can move it over here and I can scale it up, right? Oh god, that is hideous. I'm going to ignore that. I'm going to say it's perfectly fine. I pay no attention to. Oh god. I need to redraw it. How do you draw in this, Peter? You want to see more reference for characters in MS Paint than see chat. Okay, listen. I'm not drawing this all the way up till the legs. That's just not gonna happen, okay? That's not gonna happen. It's not. So don't kid yourself. Don't kid yourself. I am going to redraw the hand though because seeing it so pixelated puts me in pain even more. This is why I'm not really a perfectionist because I'm not perfect at most things I do. But I'm the kind of person who just I can't stop touching up my art. Also, I keep looking over to the side. That's what's wrong. I just I'm trying to read the chat because what happens is I forgot the settings up for drawing. So technically, what I'm doing right now, I'm not able to see the chat properly. Uh, Here we go. Okay. Oh no. 8 people are watching me draw something in paint. How is this possible? Are you guys deriving enjoyment out of this? You could have asked me to do pretty much. You had so many options, right? You could have been like, hey, play a game. Hey, uh, you know, draw something else. Or hey, show me something cool. But instead, you're like, draw in paint. I can't believe you've done this. But yes, here you go. We have the character in paint. Fine, I'll make it longer. A debt must be paid. I mean, yeah, fair enough. I derive some meaning, some small bit of enjoyment in your enjoyment, not my pain, of course. I don't enjoy any. I don't enjoy my pain. I'm not that kind of person. But I enjoy your enjoyment. Oh, there we go. We've gotten up till this far, you know, and we've got me maybe making a thumbs up. Uh, yes, yes. I'm making a thumbs up, and here we go. And just so it's clear what I'm doing, I am drawing. There we go. So it's perfectly clear. And I've got a chair behind me. You know, like in real life, the chair I got behind me is just a really small wooden chair, just because it's good for my back. But over here, I'm gonna draw myself with like a something else. I don't know what I'm gonna draw, but it's going to be it's going to be a more interesting chair than what I'm sitting on right now. That's for sure. There you go. And the chair is obviously short because I like having the armrest be under the table, even if it kind of just bends the chair a bit to do it, and the chair's not supposed to do it. But that's just kind of how I've done it. Okay, here you go. Are you happy now? Are you happy now? Are you entertained? It could be worse. We could have made you watch Velma. No, you couldn't have made me watch Velma because I would have gotten copyright struck and my stream would have been dropped down instantly. So you can't get me to watch Velma. Ah, yes, such great anatomy, especially like the solid lines around the crotch. Okay, listen. You see this art right here. You know I can draw better, right? I drew this, but I drew this in an actual drawing software, not MS Paint. MS Paint is not a drawing software. Come on. The camera's getting quite hot. Look in the PMs. This is what it reminds me of. Oh no, it's called Paint, man. It's called Paint. But I seriously doubt it's meant to be a drawing software. Whatever, let's look in the DMs. Oh no. Okay, so for context, Patrick, don't you, Patrick, don't you make the mommy joke on this, okay? I forbid you. So the Cantorellus, okay, aka Dr. Alexander, the author, has sent me something this reminds me of. It reminds me of when in a D&D campaign, a short D&D campaign when we all got sucked into a cartoon world. These purposely kid-like drawings he made represent the quality I'm able to get to right now. I mean, I see the resemblance. I'm not gonna argue with you there. Ah, listen, if you ask me to draw on paper, more. He's sending more. He's sending so much more. Okay, listen, if you ask me to draw on paper, I'd probably do a much better job. Hello, better namers. Better namers? Hi, nice to meet you. Welcome to the stream. I don't know how you found the stream, considering it's been about 2 hours. But hello and welcome. We've just about finished, roughly. We're at the end game. This is my debut stream, and at the end of my debut stream, I was asked to draw myself in MS Paint. Why? Because apparently there's more than one prick in the chat. God damn it. Oh, okay. Man got massive mahonkers. I mean, I won't deny that. I mean, like I did say, like Dr. Alexander slandered me and said that, it's augmented by magic, but it's customizable. That's the way I can say it. It's customizable. Yes, I am. I am fairly customizable. Yes. So when I swap outfits, I can pick a relevant size. What percent is it at? Peter, what do you mean? Peter, are you talking about this art or what are you talking about? You're gonna have to give me a little more context than that because I was talking about something and then your message popped up and I don't know what the delay is there. I'm not like other witches. You're right, Patrick. You're damn right, Patrick. I'm not like other witches because I'm not a witch. I'm a scholar of magic, okay? Just because someone likes to call me like a bard, maybe I'm like technically kind of sort of a bard, but I'm a scholar of magic, okay? That is what I am. What is the lowest and highest integer point you can reach in size? Uh okay, I'm gonna be honest. The actual size is about 40%, okay, of this. Uh but with magic. Hold up, just give me 1 second. Okay, I'm back. Okay, yeah, so Peter, magic augments in two directions, okay? So technically, the lowest integer is almost zero, okay? The highest integer is, I don't know. Not tried it because that would look comical. And yeah, just so you know, Peter, that's your answer. The real size 40% of this. But augmentations could get to zero roughly. All about transformation. I'm good at transformation. I'm what you might call the leader of the magical world. Uh, this this is not going well, is it? Well, anyway, so thanks to everyone for actually sticking around this long. Some people have come in, some people have gone, but at least I can recognize quite a few people, especially like Peter Devourer, new faces who showed up and have actually stuck around for the entire time, including Devourer. Yeah, the new faces that stuck around for most of the time. Canderless, which is here most of the time, which is impressive. Patrick, you're still sticking around, which I'm happy about. I think we should be close to just ending stream at this point. Next stream, that's tomorrow. I'm planning something a little bit different, which Peter has been a part of. So I'm pretty sure Peter has seen it in general chat, what my crazy idea was. But basically, I am going ahead with the weird one-man D&D thing, and basically I'm just going to call it something like storytelling. So it's improvised storytelling. That's what I'm going to call it. It's not like one-man D&D, it's improvised storytelling. The main issue is I don't know if I should actually make everyone with the D&D system because that might be very hard to keep track of all the stats. But I'll probably do something like maybe either use like a more complicated basic system and then switch to D&D system. So no Fallout. Uh, hold up 1 second. Let me come back to the board. Don't see. Uh, give me 1 second. Here I am. I'm back again. Uh, yeah. So the idea is basically, yeah, Patrick, there probably won't be Fallout. Uh, so here's kind of the thing, which I was just like, I want to play Fallout, yes, but I also really want to try this out because I think it'd be super fun, and I don't honestly know when else to do it. Maybe here's what. Okay, here's the compromise. I'll do Fallout, and then next week I'll do the mess. I'll do the improvised storytelling. We'll do CGI. Yeah. So basically, what happens is Fallout. I'm hoping we can get through it a bit faster. So I'm gonna do Fallout. I'm gonna take the extra time to just prep. Because I honestly don't think I can get everything ready by tomorrow. I just don't have the time. So yeah, I'll play Fallout tomorrow stream, and then maybe the art stream, maybe Friday for the art stream. I'll do the improvised storytelling because I think that could work, right? It's still art, technically. Technically, it's the art of storytelling. Yes, I think that works. Who's hungry? Because I'm just eating rice while watching this. Oh, hope you're having a good time eating that. Yeah, and hmm, eh, great. So we're gonna call it a night now. It's been 2 hours. Looking at the time, this is about when I should be stopping stream. And if anyone's gonna join me tomorrow as well, I'm so for Fallout New Vegas tomorrow. I'm doing a pacifist run. I've already had a few streams of it, uh, two, I guess, but you don't need to worry too much. It's not that hard to get caught up on. I'm trying to go through the game while being a pacifist, and I somehow stumble across the most overpowered character who's one-shotting everyone. But probably that's because it's the lower level thing. I think it'll work out. But anyway, I hope to see you guys some other time. You know, hopefully next stream. I will be posting in the Discord without, I'm not going to ping everyone, but in the Discord, I'll be posting a stream schedule eventually, But just let it be known tomorrow, same time as today, there is a stream. There's 4 times a week, okay? So it's Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday. Yes, that's 4 times. Oh, my mental math literally failed me for a moment. Yep. Bye, Devourer. Bye, Cantrellus. Bye, Peter. Bye, Patrick. Bye bye. See you all later. I'm going to hit the stop streaming button. Let me just find it. There it is. Bye bye. It is a lot of fun for me too. Thanks.